Analyzing bar graphs pertains to page 5 of our Module 4 Learning Activity Packet. On page 5, you will have 7 questions to answer that pertain to a bar graph that talks about the number of students that read a certain number of books. So I will be doing the first question with you and then talking about tips for reading the graph. And then you can go ahead to answer questions 2 through 7 on your own after watching this video. So the first question says, how many students participated in the contest? That means that you need to count the total number of students. So for question number 1, you are going to add up the total amounts of all the bars. So your bar graph has a vertical axis and a horizontal axis, like our X and our Y. So you have the number of books read on the bottom, going from left to right, and going up and down, you have the number of students. So when you look at the first 4 columns for books 2, 4, 6, and 7, you'll notice that they're all the same height. And that height pertains to 1 student read each one. So a tip for you would be to first go through each column and write the total number of students at the top. So if you're starting to count all of your columns, there are 11 columns altogether. Your first 4 columns are going to total 1, 2, 3, 4 students. And you would keep going for the rest of the columns that are listed. That will give you the total of all of the students altogether. Question 2 talks about what's the total number of books read. You can count along the bottom to see how many books were read once you find out the number of students. You can take into account how many books each student read based on their column. So if 1 student read 2 books, that's your first number to add. 1 student read 4 books, you're going to add 4 books to that. The third column says that 1 student read 6 books, so you would add 6 books to the total. When you see something like what is the lowest number, you're going to look for what column is the lowest. And we know that the lowest number of books has to be the first number on our graph. And what's the most common would be the size of the bar that you see the most, which I'm noticing is about 1 student reading. So see which one the most students read would be your highest column. That's the most common. If you need more room to write your answers on a separate piece of paper, you may write your answers on line paper or on the back of the page 5. This concludes our video on analyzing bar graphs. Please comment or message your teachers if you have any questions.